Cats are one of our closest companions. Many of you are likely healed every day by their adorable eyes and soft fur. However, since ancient times, Japan has been home to many terrifying legends surrounding these creatures. It is said that cats who live for many years gain supernatural powers and eventually transform into Bakeneko. Have you ever heard such stories? Far from being mere products of imagination, there are tales of deep resentment that are incredibly specific and profoundly sad. Tonight, let us unravel the world of the Bakeneko, the true nature hidden behind their faces as beloved pets. Now, what image comes to mind when you hear the word Bakeneko? Is it a cat licking the oil from a lamp? Or perhaps one dancing with a towel on its head? Or is it a monster that has transformed to settle a grudge? In fact, it has been said since ancient times that certain conditions must be met for a cat to turn into a yokai. One of these is the number of years it has been kept. According to superstitions of the Edo period, a cat that lived for 12 to 13 years or more began to acquire supernatural abilities. Another theory suggests that when a cat's weight exceeds 1 kanmei, or about 3.7 kilograms, it begins to transform. By modern standards, that is a very common weight, but for the people of that time, a cat that grew to such a size may have felt as though it possessed some kind of spiritual power. At this point, I would like to ask you all something. If your beloved cat suddenly stood up on 2 legs one day and began speaking in a human tongue, what would you do? Would you feel terror? Or would you be happy that you could finally communicate with words? When discussing the existence of the Bakeneko, the signs of its transformation are essential. The most famous is the behavior of licking lamp oil night after night. In the past, lamp oil was made from fish oil. The sight of a cat attracted to that scent, and licking the oil, cast as a shadow in the darkness, might have looked like a terrifying monster performing a ritual. Furthermore, it is said that if a cat's remains are neglected after it has passed away, or if one says goodbye with cruel treatment, a powerful grudge is born. In particular, a cat that has had its life taken by someone can release such immense energy that it brings disaster, not only to the perpetrator but to their entire bloodline. A representative example of this is the Nabeshima Disturbance, also known as the Bakeneko disturbance of Saga. The story begins with the tragic end of a blind retainer, Ryuzoji Matashichiro. He lost his life unreasonably, after incurring the wrath of his lord over a game of Go. Upon hearing the news of his passing, his mother was so overcome with grief that she ended her own journey as well. Their pet cat, Koma, who was present, licked the blood of her owners and took all their resentment upon herself. Afterward, Koma transformed into a giant Bakeneko, infiltrating the castle and sending those involved to the other world one after another. This is not just a ghost story, but a tale of revenge where the anger of the oppressed exploded through the medium of a cat. The abilities of a Bakeneko are not limited to merely changing their appearance. They are said to possess the power of necromancy, making the deceased dance as if they were still alive, the ability to shapeshift into human form at will, and even the power to manipulate fire. Books from the Edo period record a spine-chilling story of an old cat that claimed the life of an elderly woman and lived for many years by impersonating her. The family lived without noticing anything at all. But one day, someone glimpsed the woman through a gap in a sliding door, stretching out animal-like limbs to groom herself, and her true identity was revealed. This kind of horror where a familiar presence is replaced by something alien before you know. It is the true essence of Bakeneko lore. There is another existence often confused with the Bakeneko, called the Nekomata. Generally, it is said that a Nekomata has a tail that is split in two, while a Bakeneko does not. However, what they have in common is the resentment or spiritual power, born from a deep connection with humans. Nekomata that live in the mountains are particularly ferocious, depicted as terrifying monsters that attack and consume humans who wander into their territory. On the other hand, Bakeneko living in villages sometimes use their power for specific revenge, or even to repay a kindness from the past. Do you feel more reality in the stories of cats repaying favors, or in the stories of them seeking revenge? We must also touch upon the energy of resentment, born from the mistreatment of animals. Historically, Japanese people believed that a soul dwells in all things. In particular, cats were seen as emotional and persistent, and people were strictly warned that committing violence against them would lead to one's own ruin. Even today, there are endless stories of misfortune befalling those who treat animals poorly. Is that merely a coincidence? Or is it the cry of animals who were forced to leave this world unreasonably, reaching us across time and space in a different form? The legend of the Bakeneko feels like a strong message to us humans, that we must never forget to respect life. What is even more interesting is that Bakeneko are found all over Japan, not just in specific regions. For example, in the Bakeneko disturbance of Awa, a cat named Otama became a Bakeneko to clear the name of a woman who was imprisoned on false charges, hunting down those who had acted dishonestly. In this way, the Bakeneko is often on the side of the weak, acting as an enforcer of justice. While people feared the mysterious power of cats, perhaps they also secretly hoped for this overwhelming power to punish evil and reward good. Now, if your beloved cat is staring at you right now, what do you see in the depths of those eyes? Perhaps they already understand human language and are strictly monitoring our actions, and we simply haven't noticed yet. The climax we must discuss is where these Bakeneko eventually end up. In many stories, the Bakeneko is ultimately defeated by a strong samurai or a priest. But is that the true resolution? Does the sadness and suffering that was the source of the resentment vanish just by destroying them? In fact, some legends tell of a Bakeneko who, once its identity is revealed, speaks of memories with its former owner through tears and quietly fades away. What they were seeking may not have been a blood-soaked revenge, but simply the peaceful days they had lost. The monstrous form of the Bakeneko is like a mirror, reflecting human selfishness and cruelty. Finally, let us consider the Bakeneko in the modern age. In this day and age, there are no cats licking lamp oil, but the internet is full of mysterious videos and experiences. A cat staring at a single point in an empty room, and hissing, an inexplicable shadow captured on a pet camera, while the owner is away, or stories of a cat that has passed away appearing by one's pillow. Even if the form and method change, the connection between cats and the other world may still be continuing. Bakeneko are not relics of the past. We cannot deny the possibility that they are lurking right beside us at this very moment. Every living thing has emotions and a soul. If we neglect lives other than our own and wound their dignity, a second or third Bakeneko will surely be born. I hope the story I shared tonight serves not just as a scary tale, but as an opportunity to reaffirm the weight of life. Thank you for staying with me until the end. What did you think of the stories surrounding the Bakeneko? If you have had any mysterious experiences with cats around you, please let me know in the comments. On this channel, we will continue to explore the depths of yokai, urban legends, and psychic phenomena from across Japan. If you want to know more about the world of darkness, please subscribe and give us a high rating. I look forward to seeing you in the next story. Please be careful on your way home at night. If you feel a presence behind you, it might just be the incarnation of a small life you once forgot.